Welcome to episode 2 of Final Third TV. It's not Arsenal fan TV, but stick with us. This week we'll look at Pedro León and his travails at his club Getafe and the possible repercussion for Spanish clubs as the taxman turns the screw. I'm joined by Rob Palmer to discuss Pedro León and his travails. Rob, how's it going?
That's not too bad.
Well. It's an unusual case in that León is a loyal player, if you like, for Getafe. Made 116 appearances for the club, including just 2 this season, and scored something in the region of 16 goals. To be treated this way is a little bit surprising. Do you have a little bit of background on why Getafe took the drastic steps they did?
So, Getafe propelled León into relative stardom by getting him moved to Real Madrid in his form in 2009, 2010. And he was loaned back because Mourinho hated him, to be fair. You can look up the quotes that they've said. It's incredible. But the way it's gone now is just incredible. It's they tried to sell him at the start of this season to a Qatari club or an American club, I think it was. And then there was bids on the table from Sevilla, Hanover, and West Ham too. But he rejected it because he wasn't going to get the wages he was on at Getafe. And then Angel Torres, the president of Getafe, said, "Well, here, will you take a wage cut?" And León, of course, he only signed the contract a year previous. We were like, "No, I've been given a contract. Why should I take a wage cut?"
Take less money for the same job.
Exactly. And so basically, what happened was Angel Torres took this personally. Said, "Oh, this is a slight against me, not a slight against the club, which had offered him this contract, 4-year contract for I think it was €2 million a year, €2 million a year. That's what I think it was. Fair enough for a player of his caliber at a club like Getafe.
At the club, exactly.
And so they tried to cash in on their biggest asset anyway, and Pedro León said, "No, I'm going to stay here." And then, so as I said, Angel Torres decided, no, this is not how it's going to work. So he basically ostracised him. Completely took, he budgeted the way, because it's a 17 million salary cap in Spain on the clubs, except for Barcelona Real Madrid, which is baffling. And so
the usual fairness for all.
Yeah, exactly. It's 80% of the TV money goes to Barcelona and Real.
Can't understand why other clubs can't pay wages.
Yeah, so then he cleverly budgeted the 17 million euro salary cap so that León couldn't be registered. And then when he budgeted in such a way, the LFP actually came in and said, it's actually against the rules for you to register León. So León wasn't getting paid by Getafe because he wasn't registered. That's how it works in Spain. And then, so Pedro León was in sort of footballing perjury, if you want.
That's a great point.
So it was a weird situation because he's contracted to play at Getafe, but he's not allowed to play by the LFP. So what he done was he took the LFP to court. Well, he put a case up against him to court. And his argument was he has one trade, which is football, and he was getting paid to play football. But he's been denied both the right to play football and get paid for the trade that he's perfected over his career. And it's led to this horrible situation, which a player is at a club which he knows he's not wanted at, but he has to make a living somehow. So it's led to this incredible situation.
It's easy as well to make players out to be sort of greedy. He's actually not being paid for this. I think that's kind of the shocking part. I assumed before we recorded this, you told me off air, that he wasn't getting paid, and I kind of said, that's a little bit unfair. Why is it that the taxman is calling all of this in then, and what effect does it have on the smaller clubs? Because they obviously all owe quite staggering sums, comparable to the size of the clubs. Why is it all of a sudden changed?
Well, it's if you look at Spanish football, it's not run particularly well. Pretty much every club owes a debt except for probably Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It's great because they just get a phenomenal amount of money from marketing revenue and advertising revenue and stuff like that. And then the small clubs, the likes of Getafe, the likes of who anybody else who you don't know, if you don't follow Spanish football with the level of detail that we do, they get no money essentially. So the taxman is just coming down because they're Real Madrid and Barcelona are so big that they're exempt from these rules.
Yeah,
they're above the law if you get me.
Yeah,
because they're infinitely marketable, so there'll always be an income there, but they'll always be in debt, which is sort of a weird paradox.
The amount in particular, Barcelona's, this is figures from 0910 from Soccernomics, it's €548 million. They'll never pay that back. No, it's impossible. Unless they cease to pay people.
People look at the situation at United, like Manchester United, and they say, "Oh, well, that's a club which is ridiculous." Barcelona is far more in debt than United will ever be. United are actually they're sort of bringing their debt down, but I think if you look at the stat, if you look at the figures, Barcelona's debt's going up.
Yeah.
With the Neymar thing.
I think that explains the whole change from no sponsor to Qatar Airways was the Etihad Foundation originally. Probably explains a lot the need to bring in more revenue for the club. What are the ramifications then for smaller clubs? Because obviously it's not going to affect the top two. They're exempt. So
what I think will happen is I think the case of Mark Bosman back in the 90s will probably happen again. I think, because the argument that Pedro León is doing, he's bringing Getafe to court, saying that he's denying them a right. Getafe are denying him a right to perform his labour, if you want, like labour laws and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And I think what's going to happen is because I think in the EU it's illegal for you to cap like earnings on a specific like profession. You can't say, right, this is the maximum you can earn in this profession. That's illegal in the EU.
Anti-capitalist.
Exactly.
Almost, yeah.
So what's going to happen is they're going to have to sort this out, because this could see because Getafe basically got away with it. Like they basically got 6 months of not paying this player.
Yeah. For no reason. He's not injured. He's
done nothing wrong.
Training.
He's done nothing wrong. He's fulfilled his contractual duties. But Getafe just went, no, we don't want to pay it. We can't afford it, so we're going to budget it this way. So I think what's going to happen is they will be taken to court over this thing. And it will have not just in Spanish football, but in global football, this will change the landscape of it completely.
Yeah, because you're looking at it now. There is a loophole almost, like you say. Getafe got away with it, so there will have to be a settlement one way or another, where the law will account in whether it's okay to not register players, because it could go that way. We don't know just yet, or whether or not you're going to have a thing where if a player's on your books, if you've signed a player with a contract, you have to honour it. If not playing, if not registering, you still have to pay it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like like I was saying to you just before we started here. It's like Getafe surely would have had a financial foresight in place. They would have known how much they would have to pay players with their contracts. You can't just offer someone a contract and then a year later just go, you know what? Actually, we can't afford you. We're going to try and sell you. And then when he declines the offer to sell, because he moved from Getafe to Real Madrid, it didn't work out. He didn't want that to happen to him again, to jeopardise his own career. But now he's being punished because he's doing exactly what his contract is telling him to do. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's probably quite happy at Getafe as well. It's situated just outside Madrid, so. There's not really any reason to move to a Qatari club or to America. He's in the prime of his career as well, theoretically at 28. So there's a little bit of a similarity with the Schneider case, in that Inter tried to cut their wage bill. Now, in his case, he found a favourable settlement for him financially, which, that's Schneider. But and he moved away. So this is the first time we've seen where a small club has decided, we need to cut costs. We're just going to cut an employee off the wage bill. And as you say, it's illegal. It'll more than likely go in Leon's favour.
I hope it does. Really hope it does.
Perfect. Footballers are easy to victimise as greedy and selfish. In this specific instance, however, we feel that Pedro León has been let down by his club Getafe after signing a contract in good faith to be paid and to play football. We feel that the fallout from this case could be as big and as earth-shattering for football as the Bosman ruling of the mid-90s. You can check out our website, thefinalthirdpodcast.net, where we keep all of our podcasts and writings and info on the people involved. There's Twitter at @thefinal_third and Facebook, The Final Third. Keep your eye tuned to this channel, indeed subscribe for more content week by week.